Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the various database management system data model. So what are all the data model is available in the database management system? Underlying the structure of a database is the data model. You know the difference between schema and data model. What is meant by database schema? Database schema is nothing but a overall design of a database is called as a database schema. The structure of the database is the data model, a collection of conceptual tools for describing data and what is the relationship between those data and what is the data semantics between the data and what are all the consistency constraints applied to the data. A data model provides a way to describe the design of a database at physical, logical, and view level. We already discussed about the various levels of data abstraction: physical level, logical level, then view level. The data model can be classified into four different categories. One is relational model, entity relationship model, object-based data model, and semi-structured data model. In relational model, we can see each and every data in a table format. It's nothing but a relational database management system. It is based on a relational model. Each and every data should be represented as a table here. In entity relationship model, each and every data should be represented as a ER diagram is nothing but a entity relationship diagram. It is also describe the what are all the data and what is the relationship among those data. It is described in a graphical format here. Then other one is object-based data model. It also combines the relational model and it is a combination of relational model and entity relationship model. The class diagram, the use case diagram, these are all the example of the object-based data model. The next one is semi-structured data model. The example of semi-structured data model is a XML language. First, we are going to see about relational model. A relational model uses a collection of tables to represent both data and relationship among those data. Each table has a multiple columns and each column has a unique name. Each table has a multiple column. Here, what are all the multiple column here? Register number is one of the column. The name is the one of the column. The age is the one of the column. The tables are also known as a relation. Why we are said to be as a relational model is nothing but a the table is always said to be as a relation. A relation is nothing but a table. Then only this model is called as a relational model. It is used in a relational database management system. Shortly we called as a RDBMS. RDBMS. The relational model is an example of the record-based model because it also maintains the records. So register number, it has a records, name, it has some records, age, it has some records. The next model is a entity relationship model. It is otherwise called as a ER model. It is a data model, uses a collection of basic objects, is called as the entities and relationship among these objects. Here we can see the rectangle box is used to represent the entity. Here the entity name is employee. The diamond box, it is going to represent the relationship among the entity. Always know rectangle box is going to represent the entity. The diamond is going to represent the relationship between the entity, and the symbol The oval symbol, it's a rounded symbol. It is used to represent the relevant attributes to the particular entity. For example, you take the entity name student. It has different attributes: student ID, student phone number, student age, and name. A entity is a thing or object in the real world that is distinguishable from other object. Here we see the example. Employee is the rectangle box. It represents the entity. The department is a rectangle box. It represents the entity. So employee, what is the relationship between these two entity? Employee work for department. The next, the student is a entity, is consists of 4 attributes: ID, name, phone number, and age. This is the example of the simple entity relationship model. Next, we are going to discuss about what is object-based data model. A object-oriented programming, a Java, C++, C#.NET has become dominant in software development methodology. Object-oriented data model that can be seen as extending the ER model with the notion of encapsulation, methods, and object identity. The object relational data model combines the features of object-oriented data model and relational data model. The example of object-based data model, the use case diagram, class diagram, these are the example of the object-based data model. The next data model is a semi-structured data model. In this data model, there is no separation between the data and schema. The extensible markup language is widely used to represent semi-structured data. Thank you.